Good morning, students. In the last class we were discussing about some algorithms and flow charts on different problem statements, and I had given assignment that to calculate area of rectangle and area of square. For that you have to draw algorithm, flow chart and algorithms. I hope all of you have done that. Still I write on the board. Once you check your answers, what is the way you have written, whether it is right or wrong. So first, to calculate area of rectangle, we need length and breadth. So how many inputs we need to this algorithm? 2 inputs, that is length and breadth. And what is the calculation part? Length into breadth, isn't it? Then it is very simple. So first user has to input a value, it has to calculate, after that it has to display the result. Only 3 steps are there. The main steps are input, calculation and output. That's it. So let us start now. Step 1, I did not write the question here. You all know area of rectangle. Start. Step 2, I have given the 2 polygons now, rectangle and square. For square we need a side. Total 3 variables, 3 inputs we need. Let us discuss one by one. Let us write one by one first. Input length and breadth. Length and breadth. Next, step 3. So what is the formula? Length into breadth, and that calculation, that value will be stored in some identifier. We'll give identifier here. I'll take rect as an identifier. Rect is equal to length into breadth. Now answer is in rect, so we have to display rect. Step 4, display, or you can write print. The statement, what do you want to display on the screen, you have to write in a single quote. Area of rect is equal to, so this will be displayed as it is. In front of that it has to display the content of rect, so you have to put comma operator, rect. I told before, it is algorithm, it is not much strict as that of coding, that is program. Still you need to follow minimum rules here. That is, to display the text you must write a single quote, and to display the content you should not write single quote there. So these are the minimum things you need to follow. Step 5, stop, sorry. After that, now we have to calculate area of square also. Now input side, or directly you can write side of a square. Step 6, calculate area of square. You can write in a square bracket, it is a comment. Here also you can include that comment. Calculate area of rectangle, that is here. Calculate area of rectangle. Here calculate area of square. Now formula, I'll take square here. To store the result, to that result I labeled as square. Square is equal to side into side. Step 7, print or display area of square is square. Step 8, stop. So in the same algorithm we had taken both polygons. If they ask separate, then you have to write only rectangle. Again in the next algorithm you should start with the step 1, start, then second step becomes input side, third step and fourth step, like that. Now flow chart. I'll write separate flow chart for these two. Start. Right now I'll write only one polygon in this one algorithm. Stop. For this I'll write a flow chart. Input length and breadth. So parallelogram, input length and breadth. Next, calculation part. Calculation or that expression, calculation expressions we are writing in a rectangle. So we must write a rectangle here. Rect is equal to length into breadth. Now you have to display the result. Again parallelogram. Print area of rectangle is area, sorry, rect. Answer is in rect now. Then stop. For square also, first input side, then square is equal to, you can take any name here. Square is equal to side into side. Then display area of square is equal to, so what is the variable you have taken, or what is the identifier you have taken to store the result. You have to write that identifier, then stop. For that you have to draw the algorithm flow chart. Next question. Write an algorithm and draw flow chart to calculate area and circumference of a circle. Write an algorithm and flow chart to calculate area of circle, area and circumference of a circle. Now what is the formula to calculate area of circle? Pi r square, and circumference 2 pi r. See, pi r square and 2 pi r. So the circle area is depends on radius. Here also the circumference or the perimeter, it depends on radius. As radius changes, the area and circumference will also changes. So the what is varying thing is r. 2 is a constant, pi value is constant. So r is the only a value which is going to be vary, isn't it? So as user input different value, according to that value we will get a different area and different circumference. So what is the input for these two? Means to calculate area and circumference, radius. So user has to input radius, program has to calculate circumference and area, and it has to display. To store area we need one identifier. To store what is that? Circumference, another variable or identifier. To store radius we need a variable. Total how many identifiers are required to this algorithm? 3 identifiers. Among these 3 identifiers we will give input to only one identifier, that is radius. Let us begin the algorithm. Step 1, start. Step 2, input radius. So alternative word for input, read. You have to read radius. You have to read from the keyboard. Keyboard in the value kodtivalla adana read anta karithi. So this radius I'll store in the identifier called r. Read r. From this algorithm I modify little bit. The previous pattern also right, and it is an improved version. Input radius, what's going on here? What r represents? What does r represent? R means radius. So in the comment section I have written input radius. So what does it mean? You have to read, you have to give value for R. R represent radius. Next, step 3. You have to calculate area. So let us write the comment here. Calculate area. Area is equal to pi r square. See, we don't have value for pi on the keyboard, so there is no key for pi, so we must use direct value here, 3.142 into r square, or directly you can write pi r square also, but in program it is different. You should not write pi symbol, or you can write pi r square. That is, area is equal to 3.142 into r. In this way you can write. Step 4. Calculate circumference. Circumference is equal to, I'll take CIR, or direct, I'll write full word. Circumference is equal to 2 pi r. That is, circumference is equal to 2 into 3.142 into r. Next you have to display. Step 5. Print area of circle is, area is stored in area. The value will be displayed here. Step 6. Print circumference of circle is, full word I had taken here, the value is stored in circumference. Now, step 7, stop. A flow chart. I'll write flow chart here. Start. Input radius, that is r. Now calculation part now. Area is equal to pi r square. One more calculation part. Area is equal to, symbols, you must write symbols properly. Rectangle ತರಾನೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. Symbols ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Circumference is equal to 2 pi r. Then you have to display. Print area of circle area print circumference of circle, that is circumference, stop. It should be oval. Next algorithm. Write an algorithm and flow chart to interchange the values of two numbers, values of two variables. When I say the word variable, how to understand? Variable, its value keep on changing as we give the inputs, different inputs. Okay. Let us consider a variable A and variable B. If I input a value 10 for A and 20 for B, the program has to interchange the values of these two variables. It means 20 has to move to A and B has to become 10. These two values will be interchanged. The user has to input values like this for A 10 and B 20. Program has to interchange these two values. Now how to write the code? See, there are two ways. One is using temporary variable, another without using temporary variable. Now we shall write algorithm with using temporary variable. Write an algorithm and flow chart interchange or swap to swap values of two variables using temporary variable. Now the logic is very simple. I'll take a general example here. There is a jar. In this jar we have a water, the jar containing water, and another jar. So this jar having oil. Okay, this is oil and this is water. I want to interchange. The water has to go to this jar and oil has to come this jar. How to interchange this? How to swap? We need another jar, empty jar. This is empty jar. Okay. Any one of these two will take and will pour into this jar. Suppose if you pour water to this jar, it becomes, this jar contains water. Now it is a water. It will become empty. Okay. I label this jar as A and this jar as B, and this is a T. That is a temporary jar. Now after that, I'll pour in the first move. What is the first move here? Water to temper. That is A, jar A to jar T. Now jar B to jar A. Second move. This is first move and this is second move. And now it becomes oil. It contains oil and this becomes empty. In the third move, I have to pour this water from jar T to jar B. This is third move. Now B. Now it becomes empty. Before, what was there in the jar A? Water was there and jar B contained oil. Now jar B, water, and jar A, oil. This is water now. Let us apply the same logic here. If A is 10, B is 20. Now the content of B has to move to A and content of A go to B. We need a temporary variable T. I'll take T. Okay. let us take A, B and T. What is there in A? 10 and B 20. Nothing is there in the T. Now in the first move, whichever you want you can take. Here I have taken A. The same thing I'll apply here. I'll move the content of A to T. I have to copy the value of A to T. How to write in algorithm? Which value goes to which variable? A value goes to T. How to write it? T is equal to A. Means the value of A copy to T. 10. It's copy paste, not cut paste. Idrallu illu irutte. Illinda illi copy agutte. Next. In the second move, this is second move, no? B to A. Now the content of B move to A. We have to copy this value to here, this variable. Andre illiro value idakke hogbeku. Iga yaru container yaru? A. A is equal to B. Now this value is overwritten by B. Next, third move, temporary to B. T in the B ge copy ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕಾಪಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು? ಯಾರ ಕಂಟೈನರ್? ಈಗ B ಕಂಟೈನರ್. B is equal to T. What is there in the T? 10. Now this value is overwritten by T. T ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, but we won't display T. T ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡೋದಾಗ ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. We consider only A and B. After swapping, the values are like this. Before value of A was 10 and B was 20. Now A becomes 20 and B becomes 10. In this way we can swap using temporary variable. Let us write algorithm and flowchart. Step 1, start. Step 2, input two values. Input two integers. I'll take integers. Integers. It is read A, comma B. Next, step 3. We have to swap. Now swap the values. T is equal to A is equal to B is equal to T. Step 4, let us display after swapping. Let us give some statement after swapping and I'll display. Print after swapping. After swapping, what do you want to display? You have to display this statement. Under that statement you want to display the content of A and B. So print A is equal to A, B is equal to B. Step 5, stop. Now flowchart. Start. Directly I'll write here read A, comma B, because I have written algorithm here, no? So it's related to this. If you draw only flowchart, you must write the comment also. Input two integers, like that. After that, swapping part, that is rectangle. Processing is rectangle. Temp is equal to A is equal to B and B is equal to temp. Next, output. Print A is equal to, after swapping, A is equal to A, B is equal to B. Stop. Without using temporary variable. So we are swapping two values, no? for two values without using temporary variable. So we can use a mathematical calculation here, arithmetic operation, that is addition operation, addition and subtraction operation. See, A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20. The input values are like this. Now what is the logic? How to swap without using temporary variable? If I add both values A and B, what is the value? See, I'll write A, B. A is 10, B is 20. If I add these two, we'll get 30. Now I'll store this 30 into A. So how to write that? A is equal to A plus B. Okay. So A becomes 30. So the input values are like this. Next, the value of A has to go to B. Now I can write like this, B is equal to, now what is the value of A? 30 now. I can write like this, B is equal to A minus B. What is there? You should not consider the previous value of A. If you consider, you will get wrong output. So now what is the value of A? 30. 30 minus B, 20. 10. That 10 goes to B. Because we have written B is equal to. Now B becomes 10. Now we have to store 20 into A. How? In which calculation, which operation we have to do? Again subtraction. Now we have to write A is equal to A minus B. What is there in the A? 30. 30 minus 10, 20. Now A becomes 20. In this way, we can swap without using temporary variable. Everything is same. This code will be changed. A is equal to A plus B. B is equal to A minus B. And A is equal to A minus B. And remaining thing same. A is equal to A plus B. B is equal to A minus B. A is equal to A minus B. You have to write separate algorithms and separate flowchart. You should not edit the same. Here, you take two separate questions for this. One is using temporary. Here, without using. This is without using. I hope you understood how to swap two integers with using temporary variable and without using temporary. Right now we are writing only algorithms and flowcharts. That is the common way of finding a solution for the given problem statement. Anybody can understand this. Input two integers means those integers are A and B. Now swap. To swap without using temporary, we have used this technique. After swapping, we are displaying the result. So this is a common way of writing, or anybody can understand easily. So further in the programming part, when you come to programming part, we have to write a coding, we have to write a programs for these algorithms. Right now what we are understanding, so we are discussing problem solving methodology. If any problem statement is there, how to understand the problem statement, how to analyze the problem statement. That analyzation step contains inputs, what are the requirements, what is the calculation part, is there any condition to be applied, and what type of output you may get. These things comes under problem analysis. And after that we have to design that solution. We obtain the solution by analyzing the problem statement. We got an idea and what are the steps it include in order to find a result. Those steps we have written like this. This is called algorithm. And one more designing tool, that is a flow chart. So how to implement our solution in that we understood from these algorithms and flow chart. Next thing, coding. What is meant by coding? Still we can take a different examples or many more problem statements to write algorithm and flowchart. I'll discuss those things in the programming part. This chapter still contains more algorithms and flowcharts, but once you understand the program, you can easily write the algorithms and flowchart. Coding. What is meant by coding? See, already we got idea, we got solution for the given problem statement, and we developed algorithms and flowchart. Now we have to implement, we have to practically we have to apply our idea by using any programming language. So what is the definition of coding? It's a translation of solution from common language into the any programming language, or translation of our solution into a syntax of a that is programming language, any programming language. It may be C, C++, Python, Java, C#, whatever. So these are the different programming languages, and every programming language has its own structure, own vocabularies, own rules, syntax, and one has to learn these rules and syntax in order to implement our idea. That our idea we have implemented as a algorithm and flowchart. We designed, we have taken the rough sketch of that solution. Now we have to implement, we have to write the programs. To write those programs, we have to understand that programming language. So how to define coding? It is a process of translating algorithm or flowchart into syntax of any programming language. Any programming language. For your syllabus, they have given C++ as a programming language. So this is coding. So you'll get only one mark question on coding in this chapter. What is meant by coding? That's it. Next, debugging. What is meant by debugging? After writing program, after analyzing or after understanding the syntax of a programming language, we will implement this idea into program. If there any error in the program, before going to execute, first it checks any syntax error. Syntax error means any grammatical error in the program. See, before I told you to learn any programming language, we must know the vocabulary of that language and rules, how to use the statements, and some restrictions are there, some rules are there. We have to understand these rules and restrictions. If we apply, if you follow correctly, then it will give zero error, that is syntax error. If any error is there, any rule violate in that programming, if you violation of the rule, syntax, that is grammatical error, that we call it as syntax error. So debugging is nothing but detecting and correcting the errors. We call it as debugging. Debugging, bug means errors. Debugging means detection and correction of errors. The process of detecting and correcting the errors called as debugging. See, not only syntax error. Syntax error is one type of error. If any violation of rules, then that error we call it as syntax error. Sometimes we may have a problem with the logic, or we have written a wrong logic there, so that we will get a different output or wrong output. That is also one type of error. Such type of error we call it as logical errors. For example, I want to add two integers. So what is the symbol I should use? Arithmetic symbol plus. Instead of plus, if I use minus, then it is a logical error. Okay, so we made a mistake in logic. Or if you want to find the sum of n natural numbers, from where to where we have to move? From 1 to n, isn't it? Sum of n natural numbers. If n is equal to 5, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. What is the condition we have to write there? In the last class we discussed how to give the condition. I less than or equal to n, because values which are less than n and equal to n, for those values it has to calculate. If I write the condition like this, I less than n, then it won't take n value, that is fifth value it won't consider. Then we'll get a wrong output. That type of error we call it as logical error. So logical errors will not be displayed on the screen. By seeing the output we have to understand whether if it is a correct output, yes, the program is right. If any mistake in the output, then logical error might be there. And one more, semantic error. Semantic error is nothing but a wrong usage of logic. It means your logic is right, but the way of writing is wrong. For example, in programming, how to add two numbers and how to store the result. Sum is equal to a plus b. This is the right way of writing this expression. I want to add two integers, semicolon, and the value has to store in sum. This is syntax. Syntax andre ಒಂದು ರೂಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ನ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದಿರೋ ರಿಸಲ್ಟನ್ನ ಒಂದು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಥರ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಸಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬಿ ಅಂತ. ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್, ಇಫ್ ಐ ರೈಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಸಮ್. ನೀವು ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 5 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 2 ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 7 ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀರಲ್ಲ, ಹೀಗೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಈ ಥರ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀರ. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮದು ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರ ಬರೀತೀರ. ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಹೌ ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ದಟ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಮ್ಯಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಎರರ್. ಯುವರ್ ಲಾಜಿಕ್ ಈಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಬಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಯೂಸೇಜ್ ಈಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಿಮ್ಯಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಎರರ್. And without initializing, if you use a variable, for example, in the previous example, in the last class we discussed factorial of a number, isn't it? Thereby I have taken, or which one we discussed, sum of n natural numbers, I think. Yeah, there I have taken s is equal to, sum is equal to 0, no? 0 ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಸಮ್ಮಿಗೆ. After that we use this variable in the program, that is sum is equal to sum plus I. At first I value was 1 and 1 is added with 0, it gives 1 only. So what is there in the 0 at the beginning? 0, yes, 0. Are you understanding? At first I have initialized a value to this s. S is equal to 0. If you want to initialize this value, it contains a garbage value. In programming there is a rule. ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈಯರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಜಂಕ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸಿಂಗ್, ಈ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಈಗ ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದೇರ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಯೂಸ್ ಅ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಹಿಯರ್, then it leads to wrong output. That is also a semantic error. And one more thing, okay, later in the program I'll tell you, but right now you can't understand that. So what you need to understand, syntax error. Syntax error means any grammatical error, means if you miss the semicolon, it displays that error. The grammatically it is right, but the way of writing is different. That is, I shown you a plus b is equal to sum. That is wrong. That is semantic error. And instead of plus, if I write minus here, that is logical error. You will get a wrong output. And one more thing, runtime error. Runtime error means during execution of a program, after writing everything in the program, now it is ready to execute. It means user has to input a value, then program calculates sum and it displays the result. During that time some errors will be displayed. In which cases that error will come? See, anything divided by 0, if a divided by 0, then it gives error. That error we call it as a runtime error, that appear in the runtime. During execution we will get that error. That's why we call it as runtime error. So again I'll explain these errors when I come to programming part, so that you can understand very clearly. ಈಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಇಷ್ಟು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಡಿಬಗ್ಗಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಚೆಕ್ಸ್ ಎರರ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ತಪ್ಪಿದೆಯಾ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಟ್ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಎರರ್ and it correct it. That process we call it as debugging. So what kind of errors you may come across here? Syntax error, semantic error, runtime error and logical errors. At this moment you have to remember these errors ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇವಾಗ ಈ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಪ್ ಎರರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. ನಾನು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಸುವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಕ್ಲಿಯರಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಎರರ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಿಮ್ಯಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್. ಓಕೆ, next, testing. Testing. So testing, after writing, after it is error free, the program is error free, now it is ready to execute. So by giving different kind of inputs, we'll check the program, correctness of the program. ಚೆಕ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್, ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಎಲ್ಲ ರೆಡಿ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ನಾವೇನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ನಾವೇನು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅದು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ದ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ದ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್, ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೈಟ್. ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ 1 or 2 sets of input, variety of inputs, all set of inputs, it has to give correct output. Okay, I told you, if I write the program to check whether 2 persons age I'll give, and it has to display who is younger and who is elder. So what are the values I can give? It has to give correct output. So if it gives right output for all possible inputs, then it is correct. That is called verification. Verification means the process of checking the correctness of output, we call it as verification. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಫಾರ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೇಟಾ, ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೇಟಾ. ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೆಟ್ ಆದರೂ ಕೊಡಿ, ಎಷ್ಟಾದರೂ ಕೊಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಗೂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್, ಎಡಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ 2 integers. If you give 2 integers, any combination 5 + 10, 15 + 20, ಏನಾದರೂ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ನಂಬರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಬೇಕದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ದೆನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಷನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಷನ್? The process of checking the correctness of inputs, whether am I giving correct input. Okay, username, password. When you log into Gmail account, you have to give a proper username and password, Gmail ID and password, isn't it? ಆ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, there is mismatch in the format, it generates a message, pop-up message will come, isn't it? So that is called validation. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಥರ ನೀವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕಾಗಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ, ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ತಪ್ಪು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್, ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ. ಆ ಥರ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಲೇ ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, that is called validation. Validation means the process of checking the correctness of input is called validation. The process of, here testing in general agi baritini iga nanu testing. The process of checking the working of program for possible inputs and outputs. Now testing, under testing, verification. The process of checking the correctness of output of a program for possible set of inputs. Validation, the process of checking the correctness of inputs of program. Next, documentation. Last step is documentation. See, in the algorithm, we had written comments in the square bracket, and while displaying or while printing the output, we have written some statements. No? By seeing that statement, we can easily understand what is the output and what type of data we are giving, what each line performed there. So those things we call it as documentation. For example, area of rectangle, I'll consider area of circle. So in the step 1, that is start. Step 2, what we have written? Input, length and breadth, isn't it? We have written this. Within the problem statement, within the solution, while writing solution, a solution alli ನಾವು ಏನು ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಇದರ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. And after calculation, while displaying the output, print, we had written this text now, area of circle. Directly we can display the content of the result, content of variable. So that the area is stored in which variable? Area. Isn't it? In the previous algorithm, what we discussed, that is area of circle and circumference of circle, there I had taken a variable, that is area, to store the area of circle. What I want to display? I want to display area of circle. That value is stored in which variable? Area. It is enough. We can display area only. But it is not a formatted output. If any naive user come and see the program, what's going on here, he can't understand. Only the value will be displaying on the screen. Okay? By seeing that value, what we can understand, whether it is sum or multiplication value, what type of value it's displaying there. So we can't understand. Only the programmer can understand that without writing these statements. So anybody can understand easily if I write these type of instruction, these type of text or strings. This is called documentation. So this is internal documentation and this is called external documentation. I hope you are understanding little bit about documentation. So while giving a solution, while writing each and every step, we have written the explanation about that step. This is input part, this is calculation part, and this is output. Isn't it? We are displaying this. This explanation about each step, we call it as internal documentation. And on the output screen, when you execute the program, some statement will be displayed on the screen so that we can understand easily what is going on here, what type of data user has to give and what type of value we will get. So we can understand easily if you write this text on the screen, on the output screen. This type of documentations we call it as external documentation. If you write this internal documentation and external documentation, it is easy to improve the program further. Right now I have written the program and up to some extent I have written the solution. If anybody wants to improve that solution, he can easily understand which step perform which task by seeing these comments and all. So further in the programming part, I will explain in detail. Right now you have to understand this much, what is internal documentation and external documentation. I hope you are understanding, you have understood what are the steps involved in problem solving technique. You will get a 5-mark question on this. Explain the steps involved in problem solving techniques. For this question, how to write the answer, I'll tell you. First, problem definition, What is mean by problem definition? You have to write that. Problem analysis. What are the things included in problem analysis? Input, output, constraints, isn't it? These are the things included in the problem analysis. Next step, design. What is mean by design and what are the tools available for the design, that is algorithm and flowchart. You need to write what is algorithm and what is flowchart. After that, debugging. What is debugging? Just you need to write the definition of debugging. Then testing. What is mean by testing and what are the things included in the testing? Testing and the ಏನೇನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ verification and validation. You need to write the definition of these things. After that, documentation. What is documentation and what are the internal documentations and external documentation. I hope you understood these steps involved in the problem solving technique. Thank you.